As we sit comfortably in any seated meditative posture, pulling our spine upright, closing our eyes gently, we try to slowly withdraw our minds to take awareness on our heart, Hriday, and all the area, the space around it, Akash. This is called Hridayakash Dharana. Dharana is the sixth step of Ashtanga Yoga. Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. Out of 8 steps. So we are doing Chidakash Dharana. Means we are concentrating on the Akash, that is the space around the Hridayakash, Hridayakash Dharana. Around the Hriday, which is the heart. Intensifying our awareness on the Hriday and the Akash around it, we inhale fully. So the whole area expands. And we do an Om chant exhaling. Having done an Om chant, we shift awareness from the Hridayakash Dharana to our nostrils. Taking awareness consciously on cool air going into the nostrils, warm air coming out. अपनी नासिका पे ध्यान दे, सांस अंदर जा रही है, सांस बाहर आ रही है. अपने सांस पर सांस पे ध्यान दे. And then bringing the hand in Nasagraha Mudra, where the index fingertip and the middle fingertip touch. At the thumb root, we start alternate nostril Kapal Bhati. Alternate matlab ek, do, alternate, but single Kapal Bhati. Kapala is forehead, Bhati is light, illumination. Okay, so we do to bring about the lightness and the light, pun upon the word light, lightness and light. We exhale actively, pulling our abdomen in, alternate nostril Kapalbhati. Mind you, we have not yet started pranayama. This is only a cleanser, a warm up, a preparation to start. Back to the basics. Simple, uncomplicated. Kapalabhati. Alternate nostrils. Start. Now just bring your hand down. And you will notice that you're doing a normal Kapalabhati because you're not able to close your alternate nostrils. Continue. Now start counting in a reverse order because we want to discontinue Kapalbhati. So start counting from 21. When you reach 1, stop at 0. On finishing, definitely don't open the eyes. Pause a little in preparation to start pranayam now. To begin with, we start with alternate nostril bhastrika. So after finishing normal Kapalbhati, pause for a few seconds and then you can immediately start. Again, right hand comes in Nasagraha Mudra and we inhale actively to, exhale actively to, alternate nostril, bellows breath is what the West calls it, Bhastrika. Allow this super great exchange of oxygenated and deoxygenated air in your lungs, from your lungs, with your lungs, through the nostrils. Open up that blocked nostril with Bhastrika. For those of us who are in a lotus pose, Padmasana, it will help even more to open up blocked nostrils. If both are open, enjoy them. If both are closed and blocked, make a deliberate attempt to open them. Using slight force, you decide the intensity of force. Again, just like we did in Kapalbhati, just bring your hand down and automatically it will start in normal Bhastrika. While doing pranayam, any movement of the body, any chanchalta is not allowed. It's completely forbidden. Sthiram Sukham Asanam. Even if there is discomfort, even if there is pain, even if there is itchiness, whatever, even if das, machhar, kuch bhi aake bite kare, if you're doing all this maybe in a jungle, you still have to be in sthirta. You may use your arms if you feel that that aids you, that helps you. Not required, but yes, it does a good job in filling and emptying the lungs. Bhastrika allows a great exchange of oxygenated and deoxygenated air, helping us to open up both the nostrils further, clearing out all the mucus and the phlegm from the throat, activating the lungs to their lowest lobe, which we never are able to with shallow breathing all the time. So, this helps in making our breathing even more intense, deeper, open. Discontinue and continue keeping your eyes closed. Bhastrika discontinues. With regular practice of Bhastrika, it's definitely goodbye to sinuses, coughs, colds, lung congestions, bronchitis, asthma. And we start with the next one, Ujjayi Pranayam. In Ujjayi Pranayam, our inhalations and exhalations are soundful. Beginners, if you're teaching this to anybody and he's a first timer, tell him to open his mouth wide and inhale and exhale, but not for you. For you, you can keep your mouth closed and make a sound by allowing a friction in your throat pit, in your inhalations and your exhalations. Ujjayi is best done in Padmasana. with hands resting on the thighs. Any mudra is even better, like the index finger and the thumb forming a ring, which is called Gyan Mudra. Try always not to take a back support when doing pranayama. Stay supportless. Don't use a cushion, pillow, or wall. Because it's best done if the back is perpendicular to the floor. For all respiratory disorders, chronic coughs, colds, allergic conditions of the nose and the chest, for asthma, for those who are trying to sing, for reversing insecurities connected with finances, for reversing insecurities connected with relationships. Ujjayi is a fantastic pranayama. It's rightly called Ujjayi because Ujjayi is a Sanskrit or a Magdhi word. It means the best, on top, excellent, comes from the word Ujjapi. And we don't have to do anything except what we are supposed to do if we are alive, which is breathe. Only it's soundful. And the sound is not from the nose, it's from the throat. Bas. और कुछ नहीं करना है. See how oxygenation of blood and tissues improve with Ujjayi. You'll find an immediate difference within 21 days of regular practice of Ujjayi. In 21 days, it shows phenomenal results, provided you are sensitive enough to experience and to acknowledge those benefits. It improves the functions of the circulatory system, the respiratory system, of our organs. It expands our chest, increases the vital capacity of the lungs. It soothes our nervous system and mind. And if it's done in Padmasana, it also pacifies our gonets, strengthens our spine, and gives us all the other benefits of Padmasana and of doing group pranayam, pyramid pranayam, Ujjayi. We are comfortably seated currently without any back support in Padmasana, the lotus pose, so that we block the circulation, physical circulation of the lower body, increase the circulation of the upper body, so that our nostrils open up well, and we practice Ujjayi with a smile within us. Last 3 rounds. Make the last one long, long inhalation. Retain for a moment, even longer exhalation. It's all about the throat and the sound. Discontinue Ujjayi. Although Ujjayi can be continued from this moment onwards, till the moment you breathe your last. Since Ujjayi has no contraindications, it can be breathed all your life. For now, discontinue Ujjayi. Most pranayams can also be done with Ujjayi, which means the next pranayam which we will do Today is back to the basics pranayama. No variations at all. Simple, uncomplicated pranayama is Anulom Vilom pranayam, alternate nostril breathing. Right hand comes in Nasagraha Mudra again, and we just do alternate nostril breathing. Inhaling from the left nostril, exhaling from the right, inhaling from the right, exhaling from the left. So simple, no rocket science. There will be no impediments at all in Anulom Vilom Pranayama, except a semi blocked or a completely blocked nostrils. At that time, use slight force. Control your nasal airway with your thumb and your right hand's fingers placed very gently on the depression of tiny depression of the nose, just below the lower edge of the nasal bone. The thumb pressure should be minimum. A minimum pressure, a release. A minimum pressure, a release. Right airway, left airway. Right airway, left airway. A very simple play between breathing and fingers. Today is back to the basics, so no variations, no chin locks, no retentions. Improves oxygenation of blood and tissues, improves functions of all organs and systems, improves our immune system terrifically, balances our autonomous nervous system. Not only our nervous system, but the motor nervous system, one which we lose control sometimes with aging and hence invite problems like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. So that is without the control. Calms our mind, soothes our nerves, reduces stress and strain. So it's only anyone who does not have any of these problems or disorders who is exempt from doing it. These targets. But for those of us who have any respiratory disorder, bronchitis, respiratory tract infections, which we may have got at some time, chronic coughs, colds, stress related disorders, any ulcers, acidity, diabetes, colitis, mental fatigue, physical fatigue, body pain, more complicated diseases like cardiovascular, the angina pectoris, cardiac arrhythmias, hypertension, convalescence from any diseases, insomnia, losing concentration, poor memory, any of these symptoms, and we have to be doing Nadi Shodhan Pranayam, Anulom Vilom Pranayam, a very important one in the back to the basics pranayams. As you start mastering it and doing it on your own, eventually and slowly, start making your exhalations longer than the inhalations. Reason being, all the problems, pressures, and stresses of daily life make our inhalations bigger and hence accumulate a lot of gas, vata, in certain areas which eventually become weak. Could be the tooth, the gums, the back, the cervical, the knee, it can be anywhere. So we want to work on all those areas: arthritis, rheumatism, rheumatic arthritis, knee problems, stiffness in the body. Everything can be worked on only with this simple, uncomplicated Anulom Vilom Pranayama without retention. Last three rounds. To add to all the benefits that you just heard about Anulom Vilom Pranayam, on a personal level, I experienced some more benefits too. Ever since I started doing Anulom Vilom Pranayam regularly, I stopped complaining about space, not having enough space in my cupboards, in my house, in my kitchen, which is often a habit. Where is the place? Where is the space when we are shopping, when we are getting anything? On a personal level, I experienced that. On a personal level, I also experienced that whenever I tided through crisis, I did not need to fake or to camouflage. I just genuinely never felt the intensity. And thirdly, every time I take my awareness to my breath, I always notice that my exhalations are longer than my inhalations because of years of practice of Anulom Vilom Pranayam. On finishing that third round, just keep your hand down for a few more additional seconds. We move on to another beautiful pranayam, comes in the tranquilizing category. It's called Brahmari. The word Brahmari means the humming bee. Just like you hear a humming bee cross from near your ear and you hear that sound, is exactly the sound we need to make. Today we'll keep it simple. So we will just inhale fully, plug our ears closed, and make that same humming sound exhaling. You will not be able to hear me, so there will be silence for the next minute and a half. Do whichever, about 6 to 7 rounds, whichever you think will take about a minute and a half. Inhale fully. Plug your ears closed with your index fingers. Make a humming sound exhaling, feeling the vibrations on the frontal part of the face. Discontinue the practice. Discontinue the practice. Bring the hands down to finally be in dhyana. Get comfortable. If your Padmasana is giving you any discomfort, this is the time to change, to move slightly and come back into any Sthiram Sukham Asana. This is not a Shavasana. This is not a Yoga Nidra. This is Dhyana. Dhyana should be always done in a sitting posture. Make sure the body is still, the palms facing towards the ceiling in any which way. Anything but facing down of the palms is fine. Only down is not okay. You can have open palms, you can have a Gyan, Chin, any of the 8 mudras which we have learned. You can also be in a prayer, a namaste, but don't chant any mental mantras. Dhyana is to be done for those of us who has any mental stress, strain. The mind gets hyper with thoughts, a thought which keeps recurring and lingering all the time. We find ourselves keeping the mind extremely busy and feeling completely helpless. What do I do? मैं क्या करूं? હું શું કરું? મને વિચાર આવ્યા જ કરે છે. Thoughts keep coming. When the mind behaves like that intoxicated monkey bitten by a scorpion, any mental stress, any strain, high blood pressure, hyper or hypothyroidism, tachycardia, poor memory, lack of concentration, insomnia and sleep disorders, stiffnesses of the spine, acidity, gas, flatulence, indigestion, all these have shown immense results only with meditation, with dhyan, with keeping the mind away from scattered thoughts and patterns, to quieten that monkey mind, to improve mental clarity and perception, to stabilize our nervous system, to lower the blood pressure, to balance the pulse rate and metabolism, to soothe ourselves, mind, body, and breath. See how effortless it becomes when one hears about the benefits or the indications why we should be doing dhyan, not a single one of us, myself included, is spared from this misbehavior, which is truly not the actual nature of our own pure divinity. So, to get exactly there is why we need to practice dhyan. We can find our own ways of keeping the mind away from scattered thoughts and patterns, dwelling upon the breath, dwelling upon the sensations, अपने शरीर के अंदर होती हुई संवेदना, dwelling upon any music of our choice, dwelling upon any hobby. Let us start preparing to end today's practice of back to the basics. Do a mental run through without actually doing the pranayams, alternate nostril kapalbhati after hridayakash dharana, normal kapalbhati, and after that shodhan kriya, we did alternate nostril bhastrika, normal bhastrika, and moved on slowly and gradually to the stabilizing pranayams from the energizing and vitalizing ones, and balanced them with Anulom Vilom Pranayam after doing Ujjayi to finally move to the tranquilizing category Brahmari and eventually Dhyana. That's what we need to do when we are practicing on our own. However, under the guidance of a teacher and with a family or a group, the energy is multiplied. Like it is said, Atha asane dridavasha yogi hitamitasana. Guru Upadesha Margenam Pranayam Asana Bhayaseta. Open up the mudra, start opening up the eyes, and prepare for the day till we meet again. Acknowledging the sounds in your home or wherever you are. Hari Om Tat Sat.